Well, what I say in this paragraph is that the Mail on Sunday ran an article, February 2007, saying that my relationship with my then-girlfriend, Jemima Khan, was on the rocks because of my persistent late-night flirtatious phone calls with a plummy-voiced studio executive from Warner Brothers. And it was a bizarre story, completely untrue, that I sued for libel over and won, and damages rewarded, a statement was made in open court. But thinking about how they could possibly come up with such a bizarre left-field story, I realized that although there was no plummy-voiced studio executive from Warner Brothers with whom I'd had any kind of relationship, flirtatious or otherwise, there was a great friend of mine in Los Angeles who runs a production company which is associated with Warner Brothers, and whose assistant is a charming, married, middle-aged lady, English, who, as happens in Hollywood, is the person who rings you. The executive never rings you. It's always their assistant. Hi, we have, Jack Bailey on the phone for you. And this was what she used to do. She used to call and she used to leave messages, and because she was a nice English girl living in L.A., sometimes when we spoke, we'd have a joke about English stuff, Marmite or whatever. And so she would leave charming, jokey messages saying, please call the studio executive back. And she has a voice that could only be described as plummy. So I cannot, for the life of me, think of any conceivable source for this story in the Mail on Sunday except those voice messages on my mobile telephone.
Well, you haven't alleged that before, have you, in the public domain?
No, but when I was preparing this statement and going through all my old trials and tribulations to the press, I looked at that one again, I thought, that is weird, and then the penny dropped.
I think the highest it can be put is, frankly, it's a piece of speculation on your part, isn't it, in relation to this?
Yeah, you could speculation, okay, but I would love to know. I mean, I think Mr. Kaplan, who represents Associated, was saying earlier today that he'd like to put in a supplementary statement, and referring to the things I say today. What I'd love to hear what the Daily Mail's or the Sunday Mail's explanation for that article was, what their source was, if it wasn't phone hacking.